Hi, how are you? Hi! Excuse me, are you going to stay here? I'm going to present the event and I need this space. How? The Agoty Awards haven't? If they asked me to present it myself!
What's going on?
Oh, Finn, he's confused, but he was leaving. How?
I already know it was you. You are heard from the street. Keep arguing outside that I have to present the Agoty Awards ceremony.
Stupid!
Go out, Lady
Shut up, bastard!
And the Agoty Award for Best Puzzles goes to Unusual Fundings by Epic Llama. Congrats, Hernan. Congrats, Fabian. Congrats, Juan Manuel.
Hello everyone, my name is Ricard. You'll find me in social networks as Madnet, and here are my 3 top graphic adventure games of this year. Return of Monkey Island, The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, and Lucy's Dreaming. Happy adventuring everyone!
Hi there, my name is Tomasz. Since more than 12 years I run a channel about adventure games, so I think it's safe to say that I am adventure game freak, like I suppose everyone in this video. But I'm here not to talk about myself, so let's point and click. 2022 was definitely a very good year for adventure games genre. We had many interesting releases, also some nice comebacks, and one of them was Siberia: The World Before. The World Before, just like first and second part of Siberia, is a very dreamy game with great emotional story. It's not the most challenging game out there, but it has some puzzles. Pretty straightforward, but you know, it's not another adventure game without any puzzles, so that's good. And I think it's also great farewell for big artist Benoit Sokal, who passed away before release of his game. So thank you, Benoit, for all great games, Amazon, Siberia, Siberia 2, and now also The World Before. In recent years we had something like redefinition of adventure games genre. For many players the most important thing in adventure game is story and gameplay, especially puzzles. Where are they? I can see it. There are many titles without any single puzzle, and they are called adventure games by many. But Broke, the investigator, shows us what we can give to adventure games, what makes them great in terms of story, but also challenging. Broke has, of course, branching storylines with, I think, 11 endings, or even more, but the game has also great gameplay, which combines classic adventure game elements like inventory puzzles with beat-em-up elements, you know. We can fight and we will fight in the game a lot. And you know, it's really great combination. The game has really good story, also emotional, but it's fresh, challenging, and simply fun. And third game in my list is Unusual Findings. The game is very nostalgic with many references to movies, music, computer games from 80s. You can find something interesting in every single location in the game. It also has some Stranger Things vibes, and great story. Great, funny, with some different endings based on our choices in the game. So that's my top 3 adventure games in 2022. Siberia the World Before, Brock the Investigator, and Unusual Findings. Thank you for watching, and bye bye!
And the Agoty Award for Best Screenplay goes to The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow by Cloak and Dagger Games. Congrats, Sean. Congrats, John. Congrats, Laurie and Dave.
Hi everyone, this is Shorter Than Bar from the Adventure Games podcast. I hope everyone is well and has had a great year. We've had a fantastic year of great adventure games. So it was hard to choose my 3 top adventure games, but here are the top 3 adventure games for the Adventure Games podcast. At number 3 is The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, developed by Cloak and Dagger and published by Agoty. This was a fantastic adventure game, very creepy, and one of our favorite games of the year. Really fantastic game. And at number 2, something quite different, is Return to Monkey Island. As you all know, Ron Gilbert and Dave Grossman returned to Monkey Island, and in my opinion, it was one of the best adventure games. It really met expectations. Might not be as good as the first 2, but still really, really good in my opinion. And at number 1, the number 1 adventure game from the Adventure Games podcast for 2022 is Siberia, the World Before. This was the 4th game in the Siberia series, and not only is this my adventure game of the year 2022, but it's one of my favorite games of all time, I would say. It's a masterpiece, an absolute classic, and I would really urge everyone to play this. Those are my top 3 adventure games. Looking forward to what Adventure Games play in 2023, and wishing everyone Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and hope to talk to you all again soon. Take care.
Hello les aventuriers, c'est DMT. Voilà, le moment est enfin venu de vous dévoiler mon classement des meilleurs jeux d'aventure de 2022. Et cette année, je suis d'autant plus ravi que j'ai le plaisir de pouvoir vous le présenter en tant que membre du jury international des Agoty Awards. Donc un grand merci à eux pour la confiance accordée, et je salue bien évidemment tous les autres membres du jury au passage. Donc pour ceux qui ne me connaîtraient pas encore, je m'appelle DMT. À travers mes différents réseaux sociaux et ma chaîne YouTube, j'essaie de vous faire partager ma passion pour tout ce qui est donc jeux d'aventure traditionnels, c'est-à-dire point and click, aventure graphique. C'est un genre que j'ai découvert au début des années 90 et avec lequel je prends toujours autant de plaisir à jouer. D'autant plus que 2022 ayant été une année exceptionnelle, le style se porte encore mieux que jamais. Donc si vous aussi vous êtes passionné par ce type de jeu ou que vous souhaitiez simplement découvrir le genre, n'hésitez pas à me contacter à travers les réseaux sociaux, je me ferai un plaisir d'échanger avec vous. Voilà, il est maintenant l'heure de vous dévoiler mon classement. Certainement le jeu le plus fun auquel j'ai joué cette année, truffé de références à la pop culture des années 80 et évoquant les grands films d'aventure tels que les Goonies ou plus récemment la série Stranger Things, j'ai choisi à la 3e position de récompenser Unusual Findings. À la 2e place de mon classement, on retrouve une licence phare du jeu vidéo. Il s'agit bien évidemment de Return to Monkey Island. Certes, le jeu ne révolutionne pas le jeu d'aventure comme ont pu leur faire en leur temps les 2 premiers opus, mais en ce qui me concerne, il s'inscrit déjà comme un incontournable du genre. Et enfin, à la 1re place de mon classement des meilleurs jeux d'aventure de 2022, j'ai choisi de récompenser The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Alors certes, la perfection n'existe pas et on aurait souhaité des graphismes un peu plus fins et des énigmes un peu plus corsées. Mais en ce qui concerne tout le reste, que ce soit son scénario, sa réalisation, sa direction artistique sublime ou sa bande sonore, tout est réalisé de façon magistrale. Définitivement, mon jeu de 2022.
Hi, I'm Guybrush Threepwood, Mighty Pirate. No? Oh, no, I'm not Guy. I'm a liar, apparently. I'm Joshua, YouTube's Weird Gaming Adventure, co-founder of Adventure Game Hotspot, and today I'm going to be giving my personal top 3 adventure games of 2022 and Adventure Game Hotspot's top 5. Obviously, I didn't play every adventure game in 2022, but Adventure Game Hotspot has, and our 26 staff members have got our top 5 prepped and ready for you. So, without further ado, let's stop speaking French and let's get to the list. So, my personal top 3 is, and no, it is a countdown. Return to Monkey Island is number 3. Number 2 is Far, Changing Tides. Yes, I like a little adventure and action mixed together in my adventure games. And number 1 is Norco. That's my personal Weird Gaming Adventures personal choices. Now for Adventure Game Hotspot, number 5, Perfect Tides. Number 4 is Return to Monkey Island. Number 3 is Siberia, The World Before. Number 2 is Norco. And number 1 is The Case of the Golden Idol. To get the why we chose each at each spot, well, I guess you're just going to have to go to AdventureGameHotspot.com for the full breakdown. Again, for Adventure Game Hotspot, I am Weird Gaming Adventure, and we love you in a weird way. See you guys. Have a good 2023.
And the Agoty Award for Best Lines of Dialogue goes to Nightmare Frames by Postmodern Adventures. Congrats, Jose. We hope that it will be the first of many.
Good evening, my imaginary friends. This is Sergey, Adventure Games streamer. That was a great year for adventure games. Lots of them deserve winning a nomination, so it was a tough choice. But here are my top 3 games of 2022. The first one on my list is the latest release of the year, Beyond the Edge of Olsgard. Pixel art games are popular these days, but what I like about this one is that you have that sense of the 90s, when the artists were trying to make a game as beautiful as possible, but were limited by the resolution of the displays. And you get similar feeling from every aspect of the game. I would probably think it was made back in those days, if I didn't know that it's the newest release of 2022. Then there's the second game, which is called Beacon Pines. Well, that's not exactly point and click, but instead it combines mechanics of visual novel, adventure games, and adds my favorite one, the book that player uses to switch between scenario branches. The visual style is also one of the biggest upsides of the game. The characters look really cute. Add this mysterious plot and you get one of the best games of the year. And the last but not least is Blood Nova. Made to look as an old-school EGA game and having some unusual mechanics, it gives you an impression of the games of the early times, when there were almost no established rules of how to make point-and-click games. As an example, the map was really confusing, but at least it was something unusual. Then, the game gives the player a lot of questions. What is happening? Who is the traitor? Can you trust anyone? And who is the positive character if there is one? That was not the easiest thing to predict. All that makes the game worth being added to my top 3. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you in 2023. Bye.
Hi everyone, Captain Hybrid here with a very difficult task of finding the top 3 games of 2022, which might just be the best year for point-and-click adventure games of this century so far. But you know what? Someone has to do it, so let's try. Let's see. Top 3. Okay, third place, Capia 242, because it's a very interesting world, has a very distinct look to the game, and I can't wait to see what happens next in this world. As for number 2, I'm gonna go with Crowns and Pawns, Kingdom of Deceit, because it's a very Broken Sword-esque game, and the Tag of Joy have done an amazing job with the polishing, and yeah, again, I can't wait for a sequel. Now for the top spot, for me, 2022, the best point-and-click adventure game, for me it was easy. I knew it right away. Lucid Dreaming from Tall Story Games. It just hits on every single point perfectly. It's fun, it's funny, great puzzles, so give it a go. That was it. That was my top 3. Thank you, and see you in 2023.
Hello, point-and-click adventure game fans. My name is George Broussard, grizzled game developer from the 1990s. I was asked to be part of an international jury to help select point-and-click adventure game of the year for 2022, and I gladly accepted. Without further ado, here are my top 3 picks for adventure game of the year. Starting off at number 3, we've got Beyond the Edge of Asgard, a game by a developer who calls himself Watch the Toast. This game starts off lighthearted, fanciful, in a forest full of nice, friendly animals, and it turns into something dark and dystopian the longer you play. It's a really high-quality game, and I recommend everyone check it out. Coming in at number 2, we've got The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow by Cloak and Dagger Games, published by Wadjet Eye Games. This is a folk horror game that's just dripping with mood and atmosphere. It will make you uneasy in all the best ways. It's very reminiscent of Hammer films from the UK in the 1960s and 70s. If you like creepy, foreboding horror in any way, you're going to love this game. And the number 1 point-and-click adventure game of 2022 is Return to Monkey Island. This was sort of a foregone conclusion because it's building on a 30-year legacy. It's made by the original developers. It's got lots of bells and whistles to move the genre forward. It's sort of hard to argue that Return to Monkey Island isn't the best point-and-click adventure game of the modern era. So I hope it reinvigorates the genre. I hope that it makes more people want to play more point-and-click adventure games. But in the meantime, if you haven't played this game already, you should go out and grab it because it's fantastic.
And the Agoty Award for Best Soundtrack, Sound Effects and Dubbing goes to Siberia, The World Before by Microids. Congrats, Benoit. Rest in peace.
¿Qué tal? Soy Sergio Márquez, Sergio Vintage, del Point and Click Podcast, ya lo sabéis, y también está aquí mi buen amigo, el 50% del podcast, Raúl Muñoz de Agoty.net y en redes Agoty Awards. ¿Qué tal, Raúl? ¿Cómo estás? Genial. Muy bien, pues nada, vamos a pasar a las tres mejores aventuras gráficas de este 2022 y vamos a empezar con el número 3. El número 3 es para The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, una aventura gráfica que a mí personalmente me ha encantado. Le doy mucha importancia al tema de la atmósfera, al tema de los personajes. Quizá los puzzles quedan un poco en segundo plano, dando más importancia a la narrativa del juego, pero la verdad que te envuelve en ese ambiente casi de terror. Una aventura gráfica que, bueno, pues me ha fascinado bastante, me ha sorprendido mucho. Ese The Incantamentum que se llamó primeramente y pasó a llamarse después The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, que ahí queda en el número 3. Y ahora sí, vamos con el número 2, que es para The Return to Monkey Island, un juego que lógicamente tenía que estar en esta lista, un juego que más que nada lo tengo en este número 2 por lo que ha conseguido, y es unificar a jugadores, reunir jugadores que ya no nos acercaban a la aventura gráfica, y este The Return to Monkey Island pues lo ha conseguido una vez más, y la verdad que la aventura gráfica es entrañable, es algo que a mí personalmente pues me emocionó en ciertos momentos, y ha sido, quieras que no, ha sido un gran evento de la aventura gráfica en este género, en todo el fandom de que seguimos este tipo de juegos. Así que nada, Raúl, ¿qué tienes tú que decir de Return to Monkey Island? Claro. Sí, no, perfecto. Queda genial. Y vamos con el número 1. El número 1 es para Nightmare Frames, un juego que a mí personalmente, Postmodern Adventures, consigue una vez más un título que te mete de pleno en una época, ya no solamente en un ambiente, sino en una época con un montón de guiños al género de terror, a la época de aquel tiempo que refleja el juego, inspirándose un montón en hechos reales, a la vez que, en cosas que ocurrían en aquella época, a la vez que mete la trama un poquito más fantástica. E incluso, visitamos sitios variopintos. La verdad que es una aventura gráfica que a mí me fascinó, que creo que quedó vigente en el programa que le dedicamos con el amigo Meléndez también, su director, su creador estuvo en el programa, y la verdad que yo creo que tiene que estar, a menos, es mi opinión personal, lógicamente, tiene que estar aquí, en el número 1 para Nightmare Frames Postmodern Adventures. Así que nada, nos vamos a despedir, Raúl, que esto tiene que ir ágil, tiene que ir rápido, y la entrega de premios del Agoty Awards pues tiene que continuar por siempre y por muchos años a escala mundial, maldita sea, claro que sí. Raúl, di algo. Totalmente de acuerdo, joder, Raúl, claro que sí. Muy bien, nos despedimos, Sergio Márquez, del Point and Click Podcast. Un beso para todos. Raúl se despide también, y nada, hasta el año que viene. Chao.
Hi, I'm Sir Chris the Gentleman Gamer, and these are my 3 nominees for Adventure Game of the Year. Coming in third, we have Voodoo Detective. This is all style and originality, packed into a magically good game. Good voice acting and art direction make this a must-own. In second place, we have The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Sound design and writing in this game kept me disoriented in the best possible way. It's a must-have for horror game enthusiasts. In first place, we have The Return to Monkey Island. Themes of searching for relevance in a world that carries on and changes without you have always resonated with me, so much so that this game actually made me cry on stream. It is a masterpiece that belongs in every gamer's library. Cheers.
And the Agoty Award for Best Visual Art and Animations goes to Siberia, The World Before by Microids. Congrats to all team. Unbeatable work.
Hi Adventure fans, my name is Hugo and I manage the account Roja Aventuras on Twitter. I also write stuff in the Spanish gaming website RK. First of all, I would like to thank the people at Agoty for giving me this opportunity to be part of this international jury. It's an honor. We are living in a great time for the genre. 2022 is, in my opinion, the best year for adventure games since the so-called Golden Age, both in terms of quantity and quality of games. I have not been able to play all of this year's most successful adventure games. Still, I've played a lot of them, and it was very difficult to choose only 3 titles. What a year, people. Let's begin. In third position, I choose Unusual Findings. I have to confess that I'm a bit tired of 80s nostalgia. Yet 2 of the adventures in my top 3 have that setting. I think that's indicative of their quality. Epic Llama's game has one of the most ambitious puzzle designs and isn't afraid to take risks. It's not perfect, but it does have some of my favorite puzzles of the year and a beautiful pixel art, some memorable NPCs, and alternate paths depending on your reaction to certain events. Second position, Nightmare Frames. I was already a fan of postmodern adventures since I've discovered their free adventures, and their first commercial game has given me everything I expected and more. It's not the most puzzle-focused adventure, but the narrative integration of them is exemplary, as well as their structure and variety. I think Postmodern is one of the best solo adventure developers today, and his ability to create memorable atmosphere and dialogue is astounding. The first position is no surprise. Return to Monkey Island. The return of Ron Gilbert and Dave Grossman together with the terrible Toybox team has achieved what seemed impossible, to live up to expectations. It is a bit conservative in the puzzle design, and some of its assistance features are too intensive, but the constant dialogue with the player, its humor, and its reflection on obsession, maturity, expectations, and other themes elevates it as the most mature installment of the saga without losing its identity signs. Thank you and goodbye.
Hi, I'm Ramon Wilhelm and you might know me from Twitter or Mastodon. I'm honored to be one of the judges for the Agoty Awards 2022. Last year there were released so many wonderful adventure games in the year 2022, and it just breaks my heart that I can only choose top 3 adventure games I have enjoyed the most. So let's get started. Number 3, Blood Nova. Number 2, Beyond the Edge of Osgard. Before I call my number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow, Return to Monkey Island, Lord Winklebottom, Intruder in Antichronia, Clotilde Sofriti in Never Double Park Your Spaceship, Where Did the Humans Go, The Potion Master, and Elsewhere in the Night. So, now here's my top number 1 favorite adventure game of the year 2022, and it's Lucid Dreaming. Thank you and see you next time.
Hello, my name is Damiano Gerli. I am a freelance gaming journalist and gaming historian, and I would like to tell you about my top 3 favorite adventure games from 2022. So number 3, Lucid Dreaming, which was a really interesting effort, I think, from a developer who just started out. It's a little bit self-referential, many nostalgic references to LucasArts and Sierra, but still quite well done. So I think I can wait to see what the developer does next, so it's definitely a very good point and click. Number 2, Brock the Investigator, which is a quite unique hybrid of beat 'em up and point and click, with very solid voice acting, great story, fantastic art, all done by one person, so definitely very, very impressive, and again, fantastic. I can recommend it enough. Finally, number 1, for my taste, that would have to be The Excavation at Hobbs Barrow, which shows Cloak and Dagger at their best, a great pastoral horror atmosphere. Again, fantastic voice acting, very good art, and I think it can stand up against the best horror point-and-click adventures released in the last 20 years. And so, The Excavation at Hobbs Barrow is my favorite point-and-click from 2022.
And the Agoty Award for Best Adventure Game by International Jury goes to the Excavation of Barrow. Congrats, team, and thanks to all the members of the jury. You are awesome.
And we arrive at the final moment of the Agoty Awards event. Here we have the 4 nominees for the Best Adventure of the Year. And the Agoty Awards 2022 goes to Return to Monkey Island by Terrible Toy Box. Congrats!
Wow! The purple tentacle. And I see that if you are made of gold, it's because someone has asked you to marry. I wonder who and how many carats it will be.